pinch number one. We're in northwest Missouri, late muzzleloader season.
Tell you what, there ain't nothing like this pinching in Missouri.
There's our buck again, he's back. At that same deer.
Welcome to Sportsman of North America TV with Mike McCabe.
Can you hear the call? Oh yeah! Don't need a ticket. You don't stand in
Ray Howell.
Just hanging with our friends. Yeah.
And SNA founder Keith Powell.
And proud to be where the good times.
This is Sportsman of North America, your ticket to the outdoors.
We are going to be in the golden chair tonight. These deer are coming out into this small bean field here and walking right along the creek. And they're eating them beans, and there's a lot of deer, and there's several good bucks. And tonight we're going to be right in this ditch, right along that tree. We're going to clean it out a little bit and sit in there and wait for them to come through, and we are going to bushwhack them. This is going to be fun. We got into that hole and we got all set up. We knew them deer were going to be anywhere from 25 to 50 yards from us, and with no wind, I'm comfortable with that shooting range. In this setup, folks, one of the toughest things to do is to have two people on the ground and actually film a large whitetail buck coming through and not getting caught. So I've left everything just as close as to it originally was, but I've added some brush so that we don't get caught with the camera. And there I was, watching. I was standing up watching from where they come from. There's one main trail, and right off the bat, here comes two smaller bucks. One of them actually picked up something that he was a little different about, because he looked down our way and started stomping his foot. And I don't know if it was maybe the camera lens or something, but there was just something that was a little bit troublesome to him. But, you know, he turned his head and started snacking on them beans. Forgot all about it. As he was doing it, here comes all the rest of them. And the fifth one that came in is the buck that was called Stickers. And talk about exciting, because, you know, there you are, right there with him. I waited until he gave me the right shot, and we knew we were either going to get a perfect broadside at 25 or quartered away. But it ended up, he was quartered away at about 44 yards. I'll tell you what, watch that animal go right down. Yeah, all these other deer, the bull was so quiet, they had no idea what happened.
He's going down right there. He is going down. Well, the good Lord bless it tonight. What a setup, huh? Right here, a little hole in the ground, 5 bucks come walking by. We pinched.
There he is, folks, laying right there. We pinched. Oh, yeah. There he is. Nice buck. Oh, nice buck. Northern Missouri, middle of December. I love it. There ain't nothing like it. Sportsmen of North America, we are your ticket to the outdoors. Last night I harvested a magnificent 13-point buck in northern Missouri. I'm gonna do a little management here. I'm gonna get rid of a few of these does and fill my freezer. Man, there ain't nothing like pinching these critters.
We peached.
Man, what a blood trail. This deer didn't go far at all. There she is. She did not go far at all. Incredible. I can't believe my arrow was still in one piece. Well, I was able to save the arrow. That is a nice sized doe. Look at that. That is a dandy. I tell you what, there ain't nothing like this pinching in Missouri. Every time you go out, there's going to be fresh meat on the table. Man, this is fun. Great time. One of the funnest hunts I've ever been on.
It's time for this week's Sportsman of North America Winter Spotlight.
My name is Thomas Lucky, Jr. I'm from Cleveland, Texas. This is beautiful. And we have a small metal fab shop. We build some bottle racks for different chemical plants, industries. We've been hunting. I've been hunting most of my life. Grew up, but never had opportunity to hunt at a place like this before. When we first got on the stand, you know, as daylight approached, it was great to see all the hardwoods, knowing there's plenty of acorns, and then
What a combination. This is beautiful.
And then as the sun came up, we would get to look around, and I noticed all these, you know, the vegetation, the crops and stuff that they grow, and you could just tell that that's just a place that the deer are going to want to be, you know. And so probably within the first 2 hours of daylight, we're looking at 10 or 12 animals, you know, deer, bucks and does, and you could just tell that any minute the big monster is going to walk in, you're going to take him down. But it was pretty nice. Even from a distance, you could see big bucks just walking here and there. I had a good opportunity to take one deer, and I passed on the shot because I just didn't have a good clean shot. You know, I didn't want to take a chance of wounding the animal, but he was gorgeous. Probably a 140 8-point, and he was pretty nice. I was excited. I went and told everybody I knew, you know, hey man, y'all know that show we watched, Sportsman of North America? And they were like, yeah. I said, well, it's not a joke. Sign up to win the stuff, because I mean, I want to hunt. You know, I mean, that just tells you right there, anybody can, you know, has the opportunity to win a hunt somewhere they have never hunted before. I would advise for somebody watching the show, you know, to listen to the tips that they give you, watch the hunters that are on there, because we used a few of the techniques that they teach, you know, on the show that worked well. My best advice would be sign up. You know, sign up to be a member, sign up to win the hunts. I mean, it's just great. Sportsman of North America is my ticket to the outdoors.
We're hunting in northwest Missouri, late muzzleloader season. We've got a northwest wind, about 16, 19 miles an hour, so it's kind of windy. We're set up over a bean field, and the deer, they're supposed to be hitting it pretty good. We've got a buck down in front of us now. Looks like a 2 or 3 year old 8-point. Not something that we're going to shoot, but we're hoping for big things. Stay with us.
We sit there about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and over our left shoulder, a big buck comes out following 4 or 5 does. He's walking through the beans and he's following these does. He never turns. All we get is a rear shot.
Man, that's the way it goes sometimes. We saw our shooter look like a real nice 9 or 10 point, probably in the 160 range. He was with 4 or 5 does, and he just kept his backside to us the whole time. And like I said earlier, we've got like a 16 mile an hour wind, so it's not
the beans were the really hot spot. It was the only food source that was really available that late in the season. All of a sudden, deer start pouring back into the field. So we saw several deer.
We've got 4 bucks down there in the beans, and one of them's kind of a tough decision. Looks like one buck's a little bit older, but the other buck looks like he's got a little bit better antlers, so we're gonna wait, try and wait, give him as much time as we can. They keep looking back in the timber and see if we can get something bigger out in the field. We think one of the bucks might be the buck that we saw this morning.
But lo and behold, comes the buck that we had seen that morning.
It's a little bit of a long shot there at about 260 yards. We need to get him inside of 200 with this wind for the muzzleloader. Okay, I think they're getting close enough now. I miss him. Man, I think I missed that deer. He didn't act like he was hit when he ran off. My goodness. All that. Waited all that time. I'm pretty sure it was a clean miss. Man.
We saw him go back across the field with his tail bouncing, and the telltale signs, you know, we could tell that I had indeed missed that deer, and my heart sunk.
Man, I think I missed that deer.
So once we looked at the film and determined that it was a clean miss, we waited a couple of hours, and eventually does started piling back in the field. Well, then the younger bucks, and you know how that transition goes. A little while later, we're watching down in the timber, probably a couple of hours into the deal, and we noticed some movement in the timber off to our right. Well, the deer had disappeared completely down at the end of the field, but as big bucks generally do, these did something completely different. And the 2 mature bucks that we were watching ended up coming out to our right. So the big 8-point makes his way out of the timber, and he gets out broadside. About 100 yards is about as close as he got. And he goes out into the bean field and gets with the does and the other smaller bucks that are out in the field feeding at that time. About 20, 30 minutes before it gets dark, I look back in the timber, and lo and behold, I see this rack. And I can see the stickers coming off the side of it and stuff, and I know that's the buck I want.
Hey, there's our buck again. He's back. That's that same deer. That's him. That's him. It's gonna be tough for you to shoot now.
I cannot believe that we're about to get chance number 3 at this animal. And you can tell he's got love on his mind, because he walks out there at one point and he just rubs his hocks together, and you can tell that he's still, even though it's late December, this deer's still got love on his mind, and he's a dominant buck, and he's making his move, so now it's time for me to make mine.
You ready? You ready? Okay, back to
So the shot goes off. I can tell the deer's hit, but he doesn't go down. He keeps his tail down. the telltale signs that he's hit, and you could tell the bullet impacted him when the shot went off, but he doesn't go down. And this isn't a repeater, it's a single shot situation. So we had to be patient. We watched the deer exit the field, and you could tell he was hit, but he didn't make any effort to go down. And after the point where he lost our field of view, we were sure that the deer was hit good, and we were equally sure that we would find him right out of our line of
Can you
sight.
believe 3 chances? We saw that buck this morning. He gave us nothing but a rump shot, and we want to be ethical. We couldn't take a shot. When he got sideways, he was too far off. A while ago, he's in the beans. He got out there. He gave us about a 160-yard shot. I missed him clean, obviously. He came back, and the older buck, the big 8-point came out, and he stayed in there. We never saw him come out there, and there's just a pile of doe that were out in that field. And then lo and behold, right out in front of us, he pops out. Sportsman NA is your ticket to the outdoors, just like it was mine. All right, the redemption buck. Yeah.
Don't fool yourself into thinking that just because the rut's over, that hunting season's over with. Some of the best opportunities that you're going to have of the year are going to be late season, like what we had. The opportunity to get into a big food source like those bean fields late in the year, the deer congregate, they herd back up. One of the best pieces of advice that I can give you is to stick with it. Bucks have lost up to maybe 30% of their body weight, and they're looking to go back in there and hit those groceries, and they need to put that weight back on to sustain themselves through the winter. So at that time of year, their big need is for the groceries. They're not thinking about the girls nearly as much as they were a few months ago. We picked his trail up and we followed it back across the bean field. So sometime after it got dark and we didn't see him, the deer goes all the way back across the bean field, and he goes into a big creek draw. And once he crosses that creek draw, fortunately the creek is all iced over and stuff. This is late December in northwest Missouri. So we ended up, it wasn't as bad as it seemed, but it was a really steep incline going down and going back up. So we make our way back through there. It's a really good blood trail, but it's really amazing how far that animal could go mortally wounded. And it's just, it speaks volumes on how tough these whitetails, and particularly northern whitetails, are. Looks like we made it up Mount Santa Claus here. We've got good blood, so I think we're gonna find our deer. There he is right there. Big buck down. Oh my goodness. Look at that Missouri buck. Holy cow, let me get my hands on this dude. We have hunted this deer 3 different opportunities for this guy to duck us, and we nailed him. What a buck. Look at those kickers. Man, mass. Got a broke brow tine here, but man, I am so happy. I am tickled. That is a fine specimen of a northwest Missouri whitetail. That is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeehaw! I was really happy, man.
Tell you what, there ain't nothing like this tension in Missouri.
Oh,